So I'm going to tell you a bit about data structuring with n8n AI nodes. So this is something that basically Oleg also covered in his short demo. Yeah, let's dive into it, and I will actually use the OpenAI here. So maybe it will be something that you find interesting. So yeah, basically I will try to cover it with the like a use case. In this example, we are going to parse resume documents. So here I have like the example document from John Doe, which is who is the software developer, and we are going to extract some of those data, which is education, employment history, and so on, to the structured form, and then we are going to process it in n8n workflow. So what we are going to build actually here is like a very small and easy chatbot that we'll cover in Telegram. That will be our interface here. We'll use OpenAI for actually parsing, structuring the data. We'll use, of course, n8n to connect it everything together and to process this data. And at the last point, we will actually generate a PDF. And for this purpose, I'm going to use Gutenberg. If you're not familiar with Gutenberg, it's a really cool software. I also have on my YouTube channel a small tutorial about this, so you're very welcome to dive into it. But what we are going to do is actually have this Telegram chatbot to upload this resume. And in the output, we also will receive the PDF. But what is the difference between the one that we uploaded and the second one that we actually received? The PDF that we received is fully made on this structured data. So in this case, it doesn't look quite impressive because it's like just a plain HTML converted into PDF. But we can like select the data that we want to put into this document and actually convert it. So this is one of the things that we can do. We can, of course, add this data into some kind of database with our workflow, but I will focus only here on converting it into actually the other PDF, which may seem to be a bit useless, but it's only for the purpose of this presentation. So
it's not useless if you receive resumes in very different formats, right? And it all brings it back to one format.
Yeah, so yeah, this is actually, that was actually, the idea, because as far as I know, there are some HR like agencies, companies that struggle with this.
Exactly.
So yeah, I find it actually that was the inspiration here. All right, so here we have like this workflow that is behind it. It may seem a bit complex at first, but actually it's quite easy. The very first part on the left, which are two conditional if nodes. This is actually the authentication for the chatbot. Here, I just want to mention that, yeah, it's the chatbot is only available for the users with specific chat ID. So this is like the very simple version of authentication. Then we are going to extract the data with native node in n8n, which is the extract from PDF. It's worth mentioning that this node extracts the data from readable PDF. When it comes to the things like scans, receipts, and so on, we need some kind of OCR here to connect. But for purpose of this presentation, I think it's totally okay to use it. Then we'll have like this heart of this workflow, which is the chain with OpenAI model and with parsing subnodes. I will go to this a bit later in the next slide. Finally, we have a bunch of code nodes, which actually only are responsible for formatting the document and making the whole structure. And finally, the generating of this PDF. So when we run this workflow, we will have an parsed output here out of this chain, and finally it should be like generated in Gutenberg and delivered to the user. So this is what is going behind here, and let's focus right now on this chain. So first we are we are extracting the text from the resume. So as you can see, here we have the full text that we have from our document. The thing is that this text is actually quite a mess right now, so we need to make a structure of it. So for this purpose, we use this OpenAI chat model, and this one has a very specific settings. So at first, I give it a prompt to extract the data, and what is quite important here, I also mentioned it in bold text, we want to receive the unified JSON format. This is because we, as a response mode in options in this subnode, we want to use JSON. So this model will do its best to return the JSON. And as far as I know, it's available for now only in GPT-4 Turbo preview models and of course we set the temperature to 0 because we don't want the model to be too creative at this point. So when we execute this chain, we should receive the structure of the document proposed by the model. So it also doesn't look good right now because this is totally stringified output. And what we need to do right now is simply put it through, go through the schema, JSON schema. This is also something that Oleg mentioned in his demo. So first, here's an example. We have example the name, yes, of the person of this resume, and we need to create the JSON schema for this specific parameter here, right? So of course I'm not going to do it by myself here. So I simply copy the proposed by the model JSON and ask ChatGPT to create it for me because this is simply easier and faster, and I can simply operate on already on code that is ready and edit it by myself. I don't need to write it from scratch. So as you can see, this is quite extensive here. We can limit, edit it however we want to have the schema that fits our requirements in this for this purpose. I'm going to copy it. And the last step actually here is to put the structured output parser, which by default has the schema, and I'm going to replace it with my schema. So when I execute this workflow right now, I should receive in the output not a stringified version of this JSON, but very well parsed data. So as you can see right now, we have a very clear table with the data that we can do whatever we want with it. We can pass it to the database, process it, make a PDF and send back to the user. The possibilities are here actually very broad. So yes, this is how this small project looks like. I will try to prepare this template for a public view. So thank you very much, and highly invite you to subscribe to my channel on my YouTube. I will try to upload something new very soon. Thanks.